How's it going, kids? This is Dr. Callahan with Week 12, Monday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. I'm very aware that it's no longer winter, although I have to say I'm a little bit biased, and I hope we have one more major winter storm, but I really don't think it's happening. It's actually approaching spring. It's been really nice with around like 70-degree weather. So anyways, go ahead and answer the following questions. All right, so let's take a look at your guided notes for today. Your guided notes are going to be the following pages, 3 pages specifically. Here is the first one for week 12 Monday on the poster rotation we're doing in class. And then we're going to do a game called Dead or Alive. And lastly, this is kind of your breakdown, and I'm going to go over a few of these things. All right, so after this is going to be like a summary of everything we talked about with absolute value, graphing absolute value. I kind of want you guys to take a moment and kind of give me a plan on how you go about organizing your academic study time Monday through Saturday and Sunday. And so if you can go ahead and fill this part out and then just tell me, what is your plan? I mean, obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're probably in class, but then in the evening, do you do the homework? Do you go over the answers? Do you go over the work that was given to you guys? So just kind of give me an idea as to what you do on those days. And then specifically, what do you do on Saturdays and Sundays as well to go over the material itself. So take a moment and just briefly go over this. All right, then what I want you guys to do is think about all the units and all the skills that we talked about for this unit. What are some of the topics that we've discussed for the last 2 weeks since after we came back from spring break? So from week 11, Monday through Friday, to today, which is week 12, Monday. What are some of the things that we've talked about? And just list them. If you feel like you're a little bit behind, go ahead and type in this link because it does provide a summary of all the skill set that we've talked about. And then your exit ticket today is going to be the learning frame. And it says, today I learned about blank with my class. The tricky part is blank, but it helps when I blank, blank, blank. And it's important to know that because blank, blank. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and get started with your breakdown of today's materials. So go ahead and take a look at the skill sets and the activities we're talking about. Okay, so go ahead and turn over to this page. We're going to go over a game called Dead or Alive. If you get the question right, then you are alive. And then, of course, if you get the question wrong, you lose a lifeline. So start off with 5 different lifelines, or 10 in this case. And we're going to go ahead and go over this. Question number 1, and you're going to go ahead and show me the word where it says number 1. Which of the following graphs represent this equation? So pause the video and answer the following. Show your work in box number 1 for A, B, C, and D. All right, so as I'm looking at this right here, I know that my correct answer has to be C, and I could do this several ways. You could do a process of elimination. Now you know that the -2 means you go down 2, the 3 means you go 3 to the left. The 2 here means that it's going to be a skinnier V-shaped absolute value. So then which one here starts from 2 down, 3 to the left? Well, that has to be C right there. And if you look at it, it is a kind of a skinnier shaped V absolute value. So it is C. Question number 2. Pause the video and take a moment to answer this, whether it's A, B, C, or D. Okay, so as I'm looking at the hints it's giving me, it says that it is reflecting over the x-axis. So that means if it's like this, it's going to be flipped over like this, which means that I know that there's going to be a negative in front of the absolute value sign. Okay, and so if I look at it, it says G is going to be like that. So that could be this one, or it could be this one, or this one. Actually, all of them have a negative. But the second hint tells me that it's going to go down 1. So if it's going to go down 1, you know that it's going to be something like this with a -1, which means it has to be B for this one here. Now let's take a look at the second hint. H of x is the resulting graph of this 1 unit to the right, which means x -1, since it's 1 unit to the right, and then reflecting over the x-axis, which means it has a negative like that. So then looking at this, which one has this? And I actually see a typo here. So if it's going to be reflecting over the x-axis, it's a negative. 1 unit to the right is a -1. And it should be this one. This really should be a negative. And that's what I wrote down here. So sorry about that. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. And actually, you know what? I realized that it is actually a -1. So it was already been changed. So the answer will be B in this case. All right, question number 3. Which of the following is a solution for x in this equation? Pause the video and answer the following questions. I didn't include the steps for you guys. Okay, it would actually be B as in boy, because you're going to subtract 6 on both sides. So then what ends up happening is that this part cancels. 10 minus 6 gives me a 4, divided by 2 on both sides. That part cancels. 4 divided by 2 gives me a 2. And then you're going to split it. First one is x plus 3 equals +2. Second equation is x plus 3 equals a -2. Subtract a 3 on both sides. This part cancels. 2 minus 3 is a -1. Cancels. -2 minus 3 is a -5. So in this case, it is definitely B as in boy. Okay, question number 4. I have the steps right there in purple. Pause the video. All right, your question answer here is going to be D as in dog. And the reason for that is when you divide it by 3 on both sides, -6 divided by 3 is going to give you a -2. But when you guys go ahead and split this, you have x plus 4 equals a -2. X plus 4 equals a +2. And I know you want to think that you can actually continue with this, but the reason why this is going to be a no solution is that absolute value is about distance from 0. Well, you can't have a -2 units from 0 because it has to be a positive. And so if you think about it, if this is 0 and you're going 2 steps or 4 steps in this case, it's always going to be 4 steps to the right and 4 steps to the left. So it has to be a positive. So in this situation, it is a no solution. Next question, go ahead and pause the video to answer question number 5. All right, let's take a look at this. It says, if f of x equals this and g of x equals that, which one finds the x value when they equal to each other? Well, if you look at this right here, 2 and 2 matches and the x's are 0, okay? And 2 and, well, here in this case, they don't match. So it's just going to be 2 and 2, which is when the x is equal to 0, which is B as in boy. All right. Go ahead and pause the question for question number 6 and answer that. All right, let's take a look at the first equation here because you're going to split this. The first one here, you know you're going to go 4 up, 2 to the left. It's going to be upside down, and it's going to be a skinny V shape. So you know your vertex is going to be at -2, +4. So -2, +4 is right there. -2, +4 is there. -2, +4. So all of them actually have that vertex. So check. I mean, it could be A, B, or C, or D because all of them have it. But then the second part of this is you graphing it. So you're going to start off at B equals -2, and then you're going to go down 1 over 1. So then that looks like this. So if I graph this, I will have a -2, 1, 2, like this. And then I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So it looks something like this. And then with my first graph is going to be at vertex -2. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's upside down and it's a skinny shaped V graph. So then as I'm looking at this right here, I got to ask myself, which one looks like this graph? It's not D. Doesn't look like it's B. Does not look like A. So it has to be C. So C in this situation is your answer. Okay, here's question number 7. Pause the video and answer it. All right, so your answer is D, and here's the reason why. Julian wants to save $10 per day for 8 days. He then plans to spend $10 per day for another 8 days. The graph shows the money he has each day. On which day will he have $50? So here's $50, and that's going to be day 5. And it looks like it's kind of like day 11, maybe day 10, but it looks like a little bit over past 10. So I would say D as in dog. But C is very close. All right, you guys, I think we actually had enough of this, so I'm gonna move on to the next part right here. So turn over to this page. We're gonna do a poster rotation where I'm gonna show you guys a series of questions, and you're gonna go ahead and show your work on 1 to 12. So here is question number 1. So pause the video and answer it. Question number 2. Pause the video and answer it. And I'm actually gonna help you with something question number 2. So looking at number 4, there's no tag along, so you're gonna do 2y plus 7 equals positive 7. And then 2y plus 7 equals negative 7. So subtract the 7 on both sides and you get 2y equals 0. Y equals 0 is your first answer. Minus the 7 on both sides, 2y equals negative 14. Divided by 2, y equals negative 7. Poster number 3. With poster number 3, notice that there's a tag along right here. So you're going to add 2 on both sides. 5 plus 2 is a 7. Split it. Y minus a equals a positive 7. Y minus a equals a negative 7. Add the 8 on both sides. 7 plus 8 is a 15. Add the 8 on both sides. Negative 7 plus 8 is a positive 1. Question number 4, very similar to the last one. So go ahead and answer this to yourself or by yourself. Now, poster number 5 is a little bit different because not only do you have a tag along like negative 18, but you also have a negative 2. So subtract the 18 on both sides, cancel, negative 2, y minus 7 equals negative 10. Then you're going to go ahead and divide it by negative 2, cancel, absolute value y minus 7 equals 5. Now let's split it. Y minus 7 equals positive 5. Y minus 7 equals a negative 5. Add the 7 on both sides. You're going to get a 12. Add the 7 over here. Negative 5 plus 7 is going to give you a 2. Poster number 6 is very similar. Okay, poster number 7, you actually have a fraction. So I'm going to go over number 15 with you guys. You have 2 tag-alongs. You have the fraction in front of the absolute value and the negative 4. So when I add the 4 on both sides, I have 1 over 5, x minus 5 equals, that part cancels, 2 plus 4 is a 6. Then to get rid of the 1 over 5, what's opposite of 1 over 5? It's just 5 over 1, which is just 5. So I'm going to multiply 5 on both sides. So then I have the isolated x minus 5 by itself equals a 30. And now let's go ahead and split this. If I split it, x minus 5 equals positive 30. X minus 5 equals negative 30. Add 5 on both sides. X equals 35 is your first answer. And then x equals negative 25 is your second answer. So go ahead and work on the next question to make sure you have the same answer. Okay, I think we are good at this point. So for the rest of the class, make sure you have this part filled out. And as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.